The House Judiciary Committee heard testimony today from women's reproduction experts.
And I never thought that I would hear an OBGYN tell this committee that dismembering a fellow human being is an act of love, an act of freedom. We can and we must do better.
The committee held the hearing to better understand the impact of the Texas heartbeat law, which bans abortion once a baby's heartbeat is detected. And joining us now is Christina Bennett, spokesperson for the pro-life organization Live Action. Christina, welcome. So good to be with you today. First off, let's talk about the Texas heartbeat law and what's happened in the short amount of time that's been in effect. According to a study from the University of Texas at Austin, abortions dropped by 50% in September compared to September of 2020. That's remarkable, Christina.
Absolutely. It is amazing. Over 100 unborn lives are saved every day in Texas since the heartbeat bill was enacted. This is really phenomenal legislation.
Absolutely. And it seems in Ohio, a bill has been introduced that is very similar to the Texas heartbeat law. What more can you tell us about that, and how is Live Action supporting it?
The bill that you're referencing is the 2363 bill, and that number represents the number of unborn children that are killed every day in America because of abortion. Jenna Powell and Thomas Hall, and they are the youngest members of the legislature, they have brought forth the 2363 Act. And this is an act that seeks to defend unborn children in the womb, regardless of their gestational age. It is similar to the Texas heartbeat bill, but it doesn't have a particular age. So it defends children from 6 weeks and even before that. And it's really a revolutionary, forward-thinking piece of pro-life legislation that we're really hoping will pass.
And are there any other states enacting similar laws or trying to enact similar laws? What do you know?
Well, we know that other states are looking at similar laws and they're watching Texas. I know that they're also watching Mississippi and how the Supreme Court will rule. They're also watching Ohio and what they just did. And they are waiting to follow in their footsteps and to defend the unborn in the womb.
And Christina, before I let you go, I'm wondering, do you mind, can you tell us about your personal story and how it compelled you to become a pro-life advocate?
Absolutely. When I was in college, I discovered that my mom had scheduled to abort me. She had never told me that, and we had never had a conversation about abortion in my household. And I'd never heard abortion talked about in church either, so I didn't have a strong understanding of how devastating it truly is. But I discovered that my mother had scheduled to abort me at Mount Sinai Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut, and a janitor saved my life. When she was in her hospital robe, when she was minutes away from having the abortion, a janitor saw her, asked her, "Do you want to have this baby?" My mother said yes, and she said, "God will give you the strength to have your baby." The doctor, the abortionist, actually wanted her to stay. And when she tried to leave, he ended up yelling at her and said, "Don't leave this room. You've already paid for this." But she ran out and she held it in her heart as a secret. But I discovered it in my 20s, and I committed my life to fighting for the ending of abortion and to save unborn lives, like we're doing through the 2363 campaign with Live Action.
Oh, Christina, that is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
What a blessing that janitor was to your mother and to you. And thank you for sharing that and for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.